Alright, here we go. This one's also going up to YouTube. Haven't uploaded a video in like, what, 4 weeks? Maybe more? It's about damn time. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, I've been working on a new ISD model for about a solid 6 or so weeks now. Which is way, way, way too much, but I was really trying to put all my skills to the test, so to say. Everything I've learned over the past 5 or so years since the last one. So this is the new Imperial Star Destroyer. It's a little detailed. Oh man, how many PopCap is this? Someone off the top of their heads, how much PopCap is an ISD again? Oh, a slideshow. Let's see, now that the ISD-1 can no longer train all of its guns forward, we should definitely do something about the fact that it naturally faces forward. The octuple cannons of the ISD-2 can still do that. It can still fire forward. ISD-1 can no longer do that. Only the front two heavy turrets can actually train forward. It's far more effective in a broadside right now. Where are the barrels for that? Oh look, it's the it's Rogue One. Except that there's no explosion this time, of course. Are we missing the ISD-1 turret barrels? I don't think so. Where is a ISD-1 on a level that I can actually... No, we do have the turret barrels. So, let's see, we get no flickering lights even when zoomed out pretty fucking far, which I'm very glad about. That flickering shit is just the explosions. No flickering hangar lights, no flickering engine lights. The superstructure lights are all bright as shit, and they do not flicker even from far away. How about we go fire at that guy? The model itself is modular. I exported the template for the ISD and then the ISD-1 in 2 specific pieces, such as the bridge and the turret armor. Like on the ISD-2, this little elevation thing. On the ISD-1 there is just the flat armor here, as well as this ridge that is exported separately, which is loaded via a hardpoint, which prevents the game from having to load 2 ISD models when really a single one would do. All new turrets. A new hardpoint in the front to replace the dual quad turbo laser turrets that were here originally. They have since been removed. The only turrets on the ISD right now are the quad heavies on the side and then the main batteries, which on the ISD-1, major change, have been replaced by heavy turbo lasers. They also have double the health from the octuple turrets, because these are actually armored, as you'll see, whereas the octuple ones they're exposed. Only the front 2 heavy turbo lasers, as I said, can now fire forward on the ISD-1, which means that you're losing a lot of firepower on the sides here, unless you're in the thick of fighting, of course, because at that point the broadside of the ISD-1 has seen a significant buff, since obviously now they are heavy turbo lasers instead of normal. But downside, it's less versatile in combat since it can no longer fire all of its long-range firepower forward. The octuple cannons of the ISD-2 still can, so the ISD-2, aside from still having overall a lot more firepower than the ISD-1, now has the advantage that it can actually fire all of its long-range firepower forward. The ISD-1 no longer. However, in a broadside, the ISD-1 is now significantly better than it was, and actually the overall DPS of the 6 heavy duels are now comparable to the 8 octuple regular turbo lasers. So when you get it in broadside, the main batteries will be just as effective as the ISD-2, but the weapon banks are substantially weaker, since the ISD-1 has a bunch of laser cannons, whereas the ISD-2 of course has medium ion cannons and faster firing turbo lasers. Now, this is as well a performance test as it is just a gameplay test. Everything seems to work as intended. There are no fires when there shouldn't be any. The turrets all seem to work. The flickering lights are, well, non-existent. There's just the normal lights. Not even on the hangars, which the Valaducia hangars for the first time coming in handy. Let's see if we can see that up close a little bit better. They are quite nice. I'm very happy with them. Special thank you to Wolf for helping the bake on the ambient lights on those bad boys. Can't really see it, you know, it's supposed to be a subtle detail, and of course, as subtle detail goes, it's hard to get a good look at it. But I'm happy with how that turned out. New engine glow, new everything basically. Thanks to El Rati for the ISD-1 turret models. Credit to him for those. And everything else, me, myself and I. Now, I did say performance test, since there is a ridiculous amount of triangles that are being used on these ISDs. Much more than I've ever put on a ship this size before. Everything together, collision mesh, shadow, which were both highly optimized to allow the maximum amount of triangles to be used in the actual ship mesh itself. Everything together is bordering around 90,000 triangles, which is a lot, considering the Executor is around 500,000. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this was meant to be the culmination of everything that I've learned, all the new techniques that I became familiar with over time, and it's taken me about 6 weeks to build, and there's still things that I want to change, such as the armor texture. I think is god-awful and is definitely the weak point of the ship, especially compared to other things such as the window lights, which I am very happy with how those turned out. The windows are, I think, really the strong suit, as well as the kit bash pieces, which are exceptionally optimized because they were only textured once, one set of all of these details you see here, and they were then reused throughout the entire ship, so it is very optimized. Again, this ship is the culmination of everything that I've learned as a 3D and 2D artist over the past years, and I hope it really shows. I hope it really shows. So if you guys are wondering where I've been over the past weeks, well, making this. I must say, for the amount of shit that's going on right now, I think we are way over the actual normal pop cap. It's holding up quite well. Let's see, do we have anything in the broadside range? I'd like to show off a full ISD-1 broadside. However, I don't think we actually have any ships that... Oh, no, wait, this one might still be able to... Yeah, there we go. So in the full broadside like this, the dual heavies of the ISD-1 are as powerful as the octuples of the ISD-2. But again, the ISD-2 still has far more firepower overall thanks to the far more powerful weapon banks.
Excellent shot.
Alright, so quick summary for the YouTube guys. While I greatly enjoyed building this ship, as frustrating as it was at times, because it did take a long time, and at times I felt like I was making no progress. Because first I had to make all of these kit bash pieces and put everything together, and sometimes I had to redo several things, as I usually do, but this time they took a lot longer, because I wanted to go a lot deeper on the detail. It was frustrating, but it was also very rewarding. I don't think we're going to be building any further ships in this style, this level of detail, because it's just not feasible for me to do it in terms of time. While a lot of these pieces can be reused on other ships, all of the kit bash pieces, all of the lights, can all be reused on other destroyers, and even the trench is made modular, so that can simply be copy-pasted over to new ships in case we ever build new ones. Which is great, and it's gonna save time on future ships. However, as I said, I just don't think it's feasible to make more of these units in this level of detail with my time, because I have been neglecting everything else in the remake mod while working on this. This was meant to be a neat little break from the Valaducia Starbase overhaul, and now I need to get back to that, which is of course another project that takes a while. So greatly enjoyed building something of this detail. However, in the future we are definitely going to be keeping it a little bit lighter, so that I can do well, more shit faster. These do rotate, right? Yeah, that one rotates, that turret does not. Why not? Why, you know, rotate? Ion turrets seem to work fine. That one should switch targets. Ah, interesting, it doesn't. Well, some bugs to work out for. For now, people on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy the new Imperial Star Destroyer. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.